greats of the trade union movement this week. Bob Crow, who we lost at the tragically young age of 52, was a magnificent trade union leader, a fighting trade union leader who took a stand in the workplace. And we must follow his example, show fight, and take a stand too. And workers across the Northwest are taking a stand and showing courage in our struggles. The Future Directions workers in Rochdale, who took over 30 days action, strike action, fighting pay cuts. The Unison members at Knowsley College, standing up against the victimisation of our steward Barry Dunn. Workers in universities in the Northwest, fighting for a decent pay rise, where members of Unite, Unison and the UCU are taking action together. PCS members campaigning against privatisation and Liverpool, and NUT members taking national strike action on the 26th of March. Now, on Wednesday, we'll hear George Osborne's budget. He'll say that his economic plan is working and that the economy is recovering. But let's be clear, there's no economic circumstances in which Osborne would advocate anything else other than public service cuts. The government last month found £2.5 billion to spend on fighter jets. They can afford to cut taxes for the wealthy. Bankers' bonuses are increasing, and believe it or not, the wealthiest 1,000 people in Britain have seen their wealth grow by a staggering 190 billion since 2010. The truth is, there's plenty of money about, it's just not in the right places. And what we need is an easy struggle. It's a struggle the Labour movement needs to win. We must keep up our campaign until we do.
Fantastic sound, supported by the branch, supported by you. Good luck to you, Barry Dunn.
I don't want to go on too long. I know we're up to 5 minutes, I've got me watching in front of me. I think one of the things I did notice, so I was doing a little bit of digging again about whether we're all in this together, and my own union's done a lot of research on what is not being paid by the rich. Now, I don't know what the difference is between evaded and avoided in tax. But I also saw the boots, for example. The free movement of labour has been talked about quite recently, but the free movement of capital we don't seem to be bothered about at all. Boots moved their headquarters to Switzerland in 2007, and to date they have avoided paying tax of £1.1 billion simply by moving their headquarters. Well, that's a restriction I'd like to see ended. That's something I'd like to see stopped by this government and by any other government. The restriction on capital moving out of this country and into another country to avoid tax. And Vodafone, £5 billion in sales in 1 year, and they declared a profit of £249. Now again, my maths is not great, but that seems a fairly small return on a £5 billion turnover in sales. Of course, they paid no corporation tax for the second year, so maybe there is something in that, and maybe that's how they hide that. But these are the people who are hiding their money. These are the people who are holding the case. And we talk about the Northwest, just as in the Northeast, has been discriminated against by this government. That we have seen cuts in public services and cuts in public spending way and above what we see in perhaps some of the leafy shires of the southwest or the southeast of England. But workers in
make it happen, but we also send a message to Ed Miliband and Ed Balls. If you expect a Labour government to be returned in 2015, then we expect better than this. If Ed Balls wants to reduce the deficit, we expect a Labour government to invest in real sustainable jobs that pay a decent wage. That way, you increase the tax receipts to the Treasury and reduce the deficit. And finally, we lost two towering giants of the trade union and labour movement. We will mourn the passing of Bob Crow and Tony Benn, but the best way we can pay tribute to their memory and to continue their legacy is for us to continue to mobilise and march, to campaign in all...
Thank you.
Opportunity for improvement from everyone except from their rich friends. In education, although the money's ring-fenced, we see...
Money is no object for public services in our region. Lynn Collins, everybody.
to speak at any event as well. So I've only got a couple of things that I want to say today. I want to thank Unison for organising today's rally, and I also want to thank all the other unions that we've seen here today for getting behind it and supporting it in the true spirit of solidarity that our movement's built on. It's exactly that spirit that we need to show, of unity and of solidarity, those legacies that were talked about earlier at Bob Crow and Tony Penn, because we've got a massive fight ahead of us to save what's left of our public services. And our challenge is to show the public and our own members what's happening and who's to blame.
When there's an education system that we've all fought for, so that our children and our grandchildren are deprived of the schools and the teaching they need to become fully rounded people and fully functioning members of society. I can tell you, comrades, that NUT members are not going to let this happen. We've warned Michael Gove over and over again. By the NUT giving notice of strike action, Michael Gove has said he'll sit down and talk to us every single week to see if he can avert that strike. Well, the first week he didn't even turn up, and the second week he gave us an agenda that wasn't addressing any of the issues we're on strike for. He doesn't want to talk about the things that will resolve our dispute and save our education service. He's been warned, he's taken no notice of that warning, and we will be on strike on the 26th of March. And that strike's not just about education, it's about all public services. And the NUT will fight and will campaign with any union that's prepared to take action with us, because we're fighting for every single public service. And we know that if we all fight together, if we campaign together, we march together and we work together, we will win for public services. Thank you.
Thanks very much, James. Before I
All real achievements are collective. Comrades, we're the many, they're the few. Together we can win. Thank you.
And the fact is, this government said to Philip Green, who owns Topshop, Philip Green, who registered that company in Monaco in his wife's name, so he could avoid paying the fair share of tax. How can it be right that a lunchtime organiser pays more tax in proportion of the money she earns than Philip Green? How can it be right? It is immoral. The government has robbed our region, and we say to this government, give us our money back. We're here to say we want our fair share that we produce. The bankers say public sector workers, what do they produce? We might not design a dress, but I'll tell you what we produce. We produce our future. We help our sick and our elderly. Our teaching assistants help to educate our kids. We run swimming pools to provide them with leisure. We're the ones that make a difference. We produce the world. We produce the future leaders. We produce people that are going to fight for ordinary working people, our people. And we have a chance to make a difference. A chance to kick Nick Griffin out in the next election. Because that fascist and racist does not represent our views as working people. And we have to remind working people that are apathetic. You're not on your own. We're here together to defend our people. Stand alongside us, fight with us, and tell this government, stop robbing us, give us our money back, because we've earned it and we're worth it. Thank you.
in the Low Pay Commission. Our union is extremely fortunate to have Heather as our head of local government. So please give a Northwest welcome to our sister and comrade from London, Heather Wakefield.
Thanks very much, Glenn, and how did I not guess that you would mention Chelsea? Sisters and brothers, I'm honoured and proud to be with you today here in Liverpool, a city that I love. I'm proud to be here on behalf of Unison's 1.3 million members, the biggest public service union in the UK. So here we are, Liverpool, UK. This is a coalition in which Liverpool has lost £250 million between 2010 and 2017, 1.5 million in Greater Manchester, where in Rochdale 700 people every month have to survive from the local food bank. That is a scandal, sisters and brothers. In Sefton, where the Dean of Bootle says people are struggling to live and not being able to die. St Helens, where the leader says that the council is running on fumes. The cuts have been so bad. And in Salford, where the mayor says it's the people of Salford who are bearing the brunt of these savage cuts. Not greedy bankers, not tax dodgers, not the speculators, and not the super rich. Just the ordinary people of Salford paying the price. They will no more pay the price for the greedy bankers, the tax dodgers and the speculators. When we make it very clear that we won't stand by and see the dementors of the coalition suck the lifeblood out of our public services, out of our local economies, out of our public sector workforce, wiping lollipop ladies off the streets, closing libraries, depriving our elderly of care and our children of a decent start in life, robbing our local economies of the declining earnings of local government and other public sector workers, creating new wastelands in the northwest to match the shattered mining communities of Thatcherism. So mobilising around pay is something that we must do as we leave today. Sisters and brothers, this has been a brilliant turnout. It's a great day, and I know that we can go on from here and win. Thank you.
Thanks very much indeed, Heather. So finally, before the bride and groom arrive up the steps, can I say a massive thank you to the multi-agency team that organised this whole event. But can I remind you that your kids are expected to be collected before half term.